Hi Virgo, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So this week, for your key to the week, you have the Faith card, which is the Hierophant card, right? So you are restructuring, you are reordering, you are redoing, but also you are effectively deciding on a new not only a new way of doing things, but the feeling that I get from this card, because this card came up for, I think it was Taurus as well. So, but this for you, it really feels like you're coming up with this new way of doing things. You're coming up with a new, almost like you're creating a new structure for yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like saying, you know what, that group, that hierarchy, that structure, all of the rest of it doesn't really work for me anymore. So I'm going to go in a different direction. I'm going to do things in a new way. And it's kind of like you're creating a new structure or a new hierarchy, but one that is more aligned with what people actually need and ultimately what people really want, especially for the future going forward. I really like this because it kind of, one thing that I've always said about Virgo energy, the thing that everyone says, oh, you know, they're perfectionists and they like to get things right and all the rest of it. But I always say this because it's so true. Virgos are marvelously kind. That's the thing. If you're a cross watcher for a, you know, potential partner or anything like that, the thing that you need to know about them is behind all of the, you know, the hard work and the grit and the all of the practicality and stuff, Virgos are marvelously kind people, and they will be the ones that notice. Virgos and Cancers will be the people that notice those little nuances of the things that you like, of the things that you don't like. Very good, like, you know, they'll listen to when you first introduce yourself, they'll listen to your name, and if they can't get it, they will be the person that asks you to say, like, oh, you know, sorry, I didn't catch that, or oh, that's different, you know, so that they're really aware. It's always the small things with them. Marvelously kind. And I feel like this is about you tapping into what you feel, whatever your industry is, whatever your, you know, the job that you work, the school that you attend. This is about you saying, look, you know what, I think we need to do things in a different way, and if I have to be that pioneer that's going to restructure everything and do it in a new way, no problem. Amazing. For your actions and options, you've got the Justice card. So this is legality in some way, shape or form. Now, when I say legality, this can be anything from, you know, finding out what it's going to take for you to set up an adjacent platform. So maybe you say, you know what, I don't like the way that YouTube is being anymore. I want to start my own platform. So this really does look like you're behind the scenes. You are looking at creating something very big for the wider world stage, maybe in your arena, maybe in your personal life. Maybe you're saying, you know what, what's it going to cost me to get solar power? You know, it doesn't have to be that you're creating this big platform. Maybe you're just pulling yourself out of the structures that you're in that no longer resonate for you. So, you know what? I want to come off the grid, right? And I can't move. So what can I do about, you know, I don't want to sell my home. So what can I do about, I don't know, getting a new way of generating power where I don't have to be a part of the power companies that I'm, you know, attached to. So things like that. And it looks like this week you're looking at all of the commitment that it's going to take. You're looking at the legalities of it. Like, what is it going to take for me to pull myself and my investment out of what is considered the norm or society? Very exciting, I have to say. The other thing with the Justice card as well, it sees you being really honest and open about what it is that you want, about what it is that you can do, and just really kind of dedicating yourself to that. The other thing with the Justice card as well, it sees you acting very fairly. You know, which is again something that I tend to associate with Virgo energy. Now, with your communications and conversations, you've got the Four of Pentacles. This could be, this could be a week where you have a tough time pinning someone or something down. Now, it's not you, it's the other person. So maybe it could be anybody, right? But it looks like you're trying to get something set. Maybe, you're all about the details. Maybe you're trying to put something in the diary and you're having a hard time with nailing that down as to what it's going to be or where it's going to be or what it's going to look like. Now, because it's your Four of Pentacles as well. So this is something that you are and have or possibly will be investing a lot of your time and effort into, and it's kind of like you just want to make sure that you're actually going to get back from it what you're hoping to get back from it, which is a really nice thing, and it's actually very exciting. I really like this for you. The only thing that I want to say to you is just be cautious, because obviously we've got the Mercury retrograde that's taking place. Just try, if you can, if you absolutely have to lock it in, then do, but if you can leave it with a little bit of flexibility or some wiggle room, then do so as well. Four of Pentacles with the Justice card. When it comes to your money or your savings, I don't know why, but I just want to tell you to leave them where they are. I get this feeling like there's something that you want to move. It's like a financial sum or a nest egg of some sort, and it's kind of like, I feel like you just want to swoop in and take it all out. Leave it where it is. I'm not a financial advisor, I can't give you that kind of advice, but based on what I'm seeing here for the cards, this is not the right time. This is not the right week for you to move a large sum of money. Just leave it where it is for now. For your money and materials, you've got the Seven of Wands. Maybe because you could very well end up having a bit of a battle trying to get it out. And I just feel like that's because of maybe whatever's going to take place on the wider world stage this week. So that's interesting. Yeah, if you can, leave it where it is. With your money, so for your finances this week, again, because the Seven of Wands underneath the brain justice card. At this point, I'm like, I'm sure this is like 13 or the 14th video. I'm doing a bit of a marathon at the moment. So combine that with retrograde energy, not much sleep, being tired and being, I've literally been sat at this desk all day. So I apologize for the error. For your money and materials, right? So for your finances, it could be as well that you're having some sort of maybe something's not been fulfilled, and so you're having to chase it. Maybe there's something, maybe there's a payment that's outstanding that somebody should have made to you. Maybe and it's funny because I've seen this across the board. Well, not across the board, but I've seen this for two signs this week. It's kind of like an employer hasn't paid their employees, and it was Virgo. It's you guys, but there's someone else as well, and I can't remember what sign it is. But it looks like you're having to chase it or to chase some sort of a payment. And if that is the case, this is definitely a week for you to do the chasing, but it's not a week for you to move any money. Okay, so whatever that means to you. For home looks good. Actually, home looks quite good. It looks like you're getting to the bottom of something, or finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, or at least getting some sort of an inkling. Whereas for your health, actually health looks good, but I will say, yeah, this is a week for probably, because I'm just looking at the combination of cards now, and this Seven of Wands seems to come up for you guys a lot in the health position. And obviously I always talk about this one being specifically for the immune system, but with this here, your Four of Pentacles is either your liver or your gallbladder. Now that's not to say that you have any problems there. I'm just saying, like, if something does crop up, maybe ask your physician to have a look in those areas, because it might be that that's where it's coming from. But for the most part, I don't see any big problems here. Yeah, and then obviously because you've got the Justice card above, and Justice is your kidneys. Like I said, for the most part, I don't see any issues. But if you do have any, or there's something you want to check in with your doctor with, ask them to check in with those parts of you first before they go anywhere else. I'm not a doctor, I can't give you medical advice. For your love and relations, you have the Death card. So for those of you that are single, this is not a good week for love. For those of you that are partnered, this is kind of a different energy. This is a very private energy that's coming through this week. And actually it feels like that's the sort of energy that you should be fostering. So no outside interference. And when I say that, I don't mean like people sort of sticking their nose in your business. It feels more like a case of whoever's got drama going on, don't allow yourself and your partner to be pulled into it. Just kind of, this is one of those weeks to say, look, you know what, I'm really sorry. Like, I know it sounds awful, but sometimes we need to learn the value of being separate from people and letting them go through their own stuff and work their stuff out on their own, because otherwise some people never seem to learn, and I feel like it might be something to do with that this week. The other thing is as well, it looks like there's something that's transitioning or changing for your partner, and it looks like it might be a challenge for them to do this. Almost like feel for some of you as well, if it is like a partner's leaving a job or wants to leave a job, maybe this is the trouble that you're not trouble the challenge that you're going to have, is that, you know, maybe the employer doesn't want to let them go and, you know, starts throwing sort of everything at them to try to keep them. And when that doesn't work, maybe they're going to try something underhanded, which then has you say, right, well, you know what, if they do go down that road, maybe we're going to look at something, you know, of a legality, you know, of the legalities of that sort of situation. So it's just an interesting week for you guys, for sure. I'm intrigued to see how it shapes up for you all. All right, anyway, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Take care, and I'll see you soon.